Let's talk about one of my favorite battles that you ever won, the 1990 Holiday Bowl. Let me give a little bit of background on this, and then you can tell from your perspective. From my perspective, BYU was acting like they were too good for us. They didn't want to play us because they thought they were better, way better. They thought they deserved a better bowl game. And so we went in there to play the Holiday Bowl, and they were wrong about that. I'll put it that way. So Bucky Richardson, when it's all said and done, I think had 2 rushing touchdowns, 1 passing touchdown, and caught a TD.
Yeah.
And it was at the end, the final score, it was almost they had to invoke the mercy rule at one point. So tell us about what that game was like from your perspective, Bucky.
Yeah, that game was, of course, great. Whenever you can win a bowl game like that, it's a great memory. But I remember when Coach Slocum told us we were going to play in the Holiday Bowl, we were all excited. We felt like we deserved a January 1 game. We had a really good team, and we're playing well towards the end of the season. But nonetheless, we ended up at the Holiday Bowl out in San Diego, Jack Murphy Stadium, which was a great place to go visit for a week and to play out in San Diego. So we were excited about that and excited to get to play a top 10 team. And BYU at the time, I want to say, was about 5 or 6.
Yeah, they were highly ranked. Yeah.
They were highly ranked, and we were around 10 or 11, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And I remember in the days and weeks that followed, because there's about a month lag, right, before you get to play in the bowl game, they were coming out with articles. BYU players were upset because they felt like A&M wasn't ranked high enough.
Yeah.
We deserved a higher ranked opponent, a better opponent. And of course, our coaches do a good job of putting those articles up in the locker room, highlighting some of the things that they were saying. So we were walking by it all day, every day, reading it and seeing it. And it was great motivation for us. And we had good preparation in College Station before we left to go to San Diego, and we were there a week. We go a week early. And I forget the school we practiced at. It was a junior college there in the San Diego area. And, man, I don't think I've ever been on a team that had that good of practices leading up to a game.
Yeah.
And everybody, I mean, we were having a ton of fun, and they have all these activities for you, and you got to go see all these things and go eat at these cool places. But, man, when we took that bus over to that junior college, it was like we had blinders on, and we dialed it in for those 2 or 3 hours every day and had great practices, intense, everybody on their toes. And we played like we practiced. You know, we played like we practiced that week. And I can remember Coach Slocum telling me, he goes, I knew we were going to play well because we practiced great. And that's another tricky thing about bowl games is when you go, you've got all this other stuff going on. You've got to dial in and get your work done and get your practice in and get your prep in so you can play well. And we did that and showed up. They jumped on, and Ty Detmer was their quarterback who won the Heisman.
Yeah, very good quarterback.
Great player.
Great player.
And they jumped up 7-0 on us. I think they scored on their first possession, then we got the ball and answered right back. So it's 7-7. And then we just started. Our defense played great, shutting down a great BYU offense, and our offense was clicking. And I don't think I've ever been played in a game where everything we did just worked, just like it was supposed to almost.
Yeah.
And it was just one of those magical nights where things went our way, things went well, we executed, great game plan, all that stuff. A great memory, a great trip. Everything about that trip was just so much fun, and a beautiful place in San Diego. And it was a big deal, and I think it catapulted us into 91 season too. A lot of momentum, and But yeah, I think that's the reason why we played so well, was because we were so focused.
What another great insight into leadership. I hear this from prominent trial lawyers all the time too. They say we don't win the cases at the courthouse. We win the cases in the 2 or 3 months beforehand.
Yeah.
Ready for it's all in the preparation. These lessons, I think, apply across the board. You don't win.
Yeah, Brian, like I tell my son, if you want to have fun on Friday night,
yeah,
it's February right now. This is where you're creating the fun.
Yeah, exactly.
It's too late. It's too late when you wait till
Absolutely.
Friday night.
Absolutely.
So it's a process to that for sure.
I've been telling my son for a while, I say, listen, I want you to have fun. That's number one. But guess what? Winning's a lot more fun than losing. And you learn how to win. You get prepared to win 6 months before the season actually starts. Right?
That's correct. That's right.
Bucky, let me ask you one more question about your college football experience, because I'm curious. Who's the best college football player you ever played against or with, for either from a talent standpoint or a productivity standpoint? Who, and if you can't pick the best, maybe give us one or two who just, when you were playing with them, you're just like, wow, this cat's on a different level.
Yeah, I played with a lot of good players at A&M. That Darren Lewis was an incredible running back. He had power, he had speed. He was a great teammate. He was productive. He was consistent, all those things. Greg Hill was a little bit different kind of running back. But Richmond Webb was a great lineman. He should end up in the Hall of Fame at some point, and just a super guy. I think one of the guys I played against that I was just in awe of was Barry Sanders.
You played against
Oddly enough.
You got to see Barry Sanders in college. I didn't know that. What was that like?
We played them in '88 in Stillwater and just got our brains beat out.
Yeah.
But I just remember watching Barry that night. He would make moves 6-7 yards deep in the backfield, and we had a really good defense, mind you. We were dang good.
Yeah.
And he would do things 6 or 7 yards from the line of scrimmage and just create his own crease almost.
Yeah.
Just an unbelievable talent, speed, and strength, and quickness and moves. He returned a punt for a touchdown on us that night and just ran up and down the field. And I don't think I've ever been wowed more than I was that night by college, somebody that I played against. Just a special talent, gifted guy.